Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
Hey, thanks to Jesus Christ for hanging out with us last hour.
He's such a nice guy. Cool sandals.
Right, yeah. I can't believe how many loaves and fishes he left behind.
Loaves and fishes. So did you see that story that came out about red meat?
How awesome it is.
Well, for some. But according to this study, red meat isn't too good for you, dear.
And that was published in the journal Duh.
Well, I just think, this is just my opinion,
Okay.
of course. I might be a little biased here
Okay,
because I don't eat pork or beef,
right.
but I do eat chicken, fish, and turkey.
So you eat the white meat.
Okay, I eat the white meat, yes.
You like the white meat,
I
you
do
don't like
like
the red
white
meat.
I don't like the red meat. Good observation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
I don't necessarily know if it's bad for your health because I made a choice to not eat that.
Yeah, I think,
you know.
I honestly, I think that the meat studies, and I was looking at, somebody at the Harvard School of Public Health authored this study, and I don't see how you can make these conclusions. It's kind of ridiculous conclusions because you can get a panel of different people, and there's so many other factors that go into lifestyle. I think it's obvious. It should be obvious to anybody that overconsumption of anything is bad for you.
Yes.
Okay, everything in moderation, no matter what it is. God, even water in moderation. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have steak, 4 or 5 days a week, you're going to have issues. Okay, so what's the big deal? Red meat's going to make you more likely to die. So is breathing.
Also, just living and inhaling air. One of the things also that kind of is weird to me, and this, of course, just a study that somebody did,
Yeah.
It says swapping red meat for healthy protein sources such as poultry, fish, legumes, and whole grains was linked to a decrease in mortality risk, ranging from 7% for fish to 19% for nuts. Okay, so what about the people who are allergic to fish?
Well, yeah, I mean, allergic to fish or allergic to nuts, allergic to peanuts, like me.
Yes.
Yeah, well, then we're screwed. We're going to die, apparently. No, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, just because I don't eat any seafood and I can't eat any, peanuts or nuts. Now, granted, great sources of protein, and I wish I could. I just can't. Well, that's fine. So I eat eat a heck of a lot more, turkey or chicken when I do have meat, but I don't have meat all the time. And again, I think it's all about moderation.
I agree with you. Also, before you look at these studies and stuff, I would say someone, please talk to your doctor before you start anything. And it probably would be good to take a vitamin once a day. Just saying. On top of that,
I disagree. I don't think anybody should talk to their doctors ever.
Oh,
and,
really? Never?
And yeah, no. Don't listen to your folks. I'm here to tell. Don't listen to your doctors at all.
Thanks, John. Thanks.
We should talk about vitamins sometime because I also read something at one point that suggested that that multivitamins are fairly useless.
Really?
That individual vitamins, like women could use iron, extra iron.
Right.
If you don't, eat too much, meat, having more protein, things like that. And basically taking vitamins to fit what you may be lacking in your lifestyle, and the multivitamin maybe not necessarily that good for everybody. I don't think it can hurt, but I don't know that it,
Check with your doctor.
So
check with your doctor.
Check with my doctor, huh?
Check with your doctor. That's what I would say.
Well, I'll see what Dr. Oz has to say about that.
He's the expert on everything.
I don't know.
Send him an email.
Dr. O.
Dr. O, I need some help. I need some help.
Put on your scrubs and tell me what's going on here.
Don't you do anything besides scrubs?
I don't know. I don't want to know. He's probably got a green Speedo underneath those scrubs.
Ooh, green Speedo.
So anyway.
Well, people like them.
Yes, indeed, and they like their red meat. And
Yes.
And if you're a guy, you love your ESPN, you love your sports. And I thought about something recently. At the beginning of the year, there was a sports channel called Versus, which did the NHL and some extreme type sports and off kind of off the beaten path type sports. But anyway, they rebranded themselves as the NBC Sports Network. Around the same time, and it's sort of under the radar, but there was a CBS College Sports Network that rebranded itself as the CBS Sports Network.
Yes.
And in the meantime, both of these channels have slowly kind of picked up the rights to other sporting events that, in some cases, you used to hear a lot would be on one of the ESPN family of networks.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I am looking at it as right now we've probably experienced the time when ESPN is at its peak. Because
Interesting.
The NBC Sports Network is gaining a lot of traction. It's going to be tied in with some NFL offshoot programming because of the NBC Sunday Night Football. It is a very slick operation. The NBC Sports Talk show, which basically is, they don't go over sports scores, but Sports Center for ESPN hasn't really done, they don't do mostly sports scores. They haven't done that in years. But you take a look at the NBC Sports Network, Sports Talk, and some of its other shows, and they are better than what's on ESPN. And so I see it as a sea change. I see right now we've got finally major competition to the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN. And it's coming from NBC, a little bit from CBS. Fox has just never been a player because they had the regional sports networks and tried to do stuff with that. But they'd rather they're trying to challenge CNBC in business right now. But I kind of see this going forward as we're going to see ESPN probably lose some sports, upcoming. I would not doubt it if, and it won't be too long before basketball or baseball, next time those contracts come up, that the NBC Sports Network or the CBS Sports Network steps up and puts forth some money and steals them away from ESPN.
I think a lot of things probably contribute to that. One, ESPN basically has been the king of sports for a long time.
Right.
That's the first thing. Second thing is NBC and CBS have probably sat back and watched, you know what I mean, and probably said, how can we improve upon this? Quite possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And now we're going to do a better show. We're going to do a better programming. We're going to do better whatever.
Right.
That. Times are changing. Times are changing.
Yeah.
I think they want to give people more variety and give advertisers someplace else where they can advertise.
Right.
Right.
And I think it'll be interesting because I would expect that maybe in 5 years that when it comes to watching sports on cable, ESPN is not going to be first on everybody's mind. And let me tell you, the NBC Sports Network, I'm impressed by what I'm seeing.
Wow.
And especially the personalities on there, which in a lot of cases have a lot more personality than the ESPN folks.
What about Comcast? Do you watch a lot of this stuff, Comcast?
Well, that's the thing is Comcast owns NBC now,
Right.
so the NBC Sports Network is Versus used to be Comcast,
Right.
so now rebranding it that. You've got your Comcast Sportsnet in Chicago at least, and around the country the regional channels, and they're going to have some sort of tie, I think, with the NBC Sports Network, but it's going to be very loose.
And I was watching, I was letting my father-in-law, he loves sports and movies, violent movies. That's going to be another topic of discussion.
Okay.
But while I was sitting there watching ESPN with him, I was just looking at the different programming they have, and it's like, it's not that good. You know, like they had a show like that was about who had the best NFL jerseys, and it was
Right.
like,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
ESPN has a lot of time to fill between sporting events, and when you look at a lot of it now, it's crap. It's just
Wow.
crap. So.
maybe they're gonna have to do some changes.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, in 5 years, I think ESPN will not be synonymous with cable sports.
Sports.
There will be other channels that
Things
will be up there.
change.
So.
Things change. Huh?
We'll be right back after these words from all new Euro Water and Pee Enhancer.
Oh boy.
Add flavor and color to your boring water and pee with Euro Water and Pee Enhancer. That's URO. Available in 16 flavors and colors. Delight your friends. Drink blue, pee blue. Drink green, pee green. Scare your doctor. Drink red, pee red.
Oh brother, where'd you get that product from? You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.